Come on, you piece of garbage! I will not stand for a 34th failure. And I have been nothing but gracious. So the least you could do is to work properly. I might not have much time left, but don't think for a second that I'm not stubborn enough to bash on you until my last breath if I have to. Come on, come on, come on! I really need someone to be listening right now. I've done enough talking to myself, and I'm a terrible audience. Oh! You're alive! You're there! You triggered the button! Okay, hi! I'm so excited to see that you're up and running! Let me adjust the broadcast system. Hold on! It must be so confusing for you to wake up in this place. But have no fear, Cornell is here with knowledge. That's me, by the way. Dr. Louis Cornell. Pleased to meet you. So, a little bit of bad news. I can't see nor hear you. There's a display here with some blinking lights, some wiggly lines, but that's all I have. Trust me though, I know how foreboding the construct can feel, and I'm here to keep you company. After everything I've done to get you in there, don't expect to ever get rid of me. Ever. Wow, I didn't expect anyone would manage to go through these experiments so fast. I'm keeping a record of your accomplishments here, for posterity. Think of it as a nice memento of your time in the construct, once you get out of this place. And if things go the way I hope they do, future generations will want to know everything about you, the Aethernaut. You've reached the Visitor Processing Center, which we called the Rite of Passage. We've set up experiments in the adjacent rooms to test the visitors and ensure that they're worthy of the construct. I can't let you move on until you've proven yourself, so just choose any room and hop to it. And don't forget to get the prize at the end of each experiment. This is it! Your first vial of raw aether. These machines harvest aether and encapsulate it in raw form. We then process them into aether cubes, which are used to power devices all across the construct. You'll need a lot of raw aether later on, so make sure you grab all of the vials you come across. I hope you appreciate what a great honor it is to freely navigate these labs. In this construct, we made history every single day through all of our discoveries. But now, if I stepped out of my bunker, well, let's just say I wouldn't make it very far. And I certainly wouldn't want you to be deprived of the joy of my company.
The genius of the aether cubes is that they don't actually need to contain the Maxwell-Hatham reaction. Instead, each cube contains a single Schrödinger particle, or S particle, with its counterpart dropped inside the reaction. This creates a wormhole which feeds the cube with the corresponding aether. The cube itself stabilizes the S particle, so should it break, the wormhole would simply dissipate, making it perfectly safe for common use.
A third vial already? My hero! You know, since we're about to spend a lot of time together, I need to get to know you better. There's a polling booth in the main hall which we can use for a limited form of communication. I won't be able to ask your name or anything complicated, but don't worry, we'll get creative. Yeah, to you too. Sounds like you won the grand prize, my friend. That alarm means that I no longer have time to send another Aethernaut if you can't complete the experiments. So, the fate of the world is kind of on your shoulders, but, no pressure. I don't want to inflate your ego, I'm just not an inflation kind of guy, but I'm pretty impressed by your progress so far. And that's really good because, well, spoilers, but the experiments deeper in the construct are far more elaborate than this. And unfortunately, I will be of exactly zero help throughout all of it. Except for top-ranked, patented moral support, of course. So fare thee well, my Aethernaut friend. Take a deep breath, no pressure. Here is the first question. What is your gender? I know, I'm boring myself with this question too, and I'll try to come up with a better one next time. But for now, left for male, right for female. Oh, I see what you did there. Neither male nor female. A perfectly valid choice. It's certainly a nice change of pace from my other co-workers. Great job, boss. I'm just kidding. My boss isn't here, and neither is anyone else. It's just you, me, and the end of the world. And now that you've answered, I'll open the door leading to the next area. Looks like someone is an overachiever. Methodical, gathering all 5 vials before moving on. You have my respect, Aethernaut. It's pretty admirable. You know what? Now's the perfect time to dive deeper into the history of this place. You'll have noticed how reinforced the construct is, built to withstand most threats, from the outside and within. It's a world-class science bunker built decades ago around a crashed starship buried deep in the mountains. Today, it's dedicated to the research, development, and harvesting of Aether. I was part of a science team doing research on Aether, the ship's power source. Malleable and virtually limitless, Aether is the perfect energy source. It single-handedly brought our society out of the Dark Ages and into a new age of possibilities. You've already seen it power lights and cast shadows, but these are mere glimpses of the true potential of Aether. Prolonged exposure to Aether makes us vanish into thin air, regardless of any protective clothes. A few years ago, there was an incident which flooded the construct with Aether. We've since been trying to take back the facility by sending in an elite few who are resistant to the Aether's effects. That's why you were chosen to become an Aethernaut.
The first step to crafting an Aether cube is to establish a sustainable connection with its origin in the parallel world. We've set up harvesters across the construct, which sole purpose is to create the S-particle and connect it to that world. As a final measure, we trigger the Maxwell-Haytham reaction, turning the Aether into a raw spark. Finally, the spark is kept within an aerolite-lined vial, endlessly fed through the S-particle and ready to receive a catalyst.
The Aether won't vanish you, but you may still feel some side effects like amnesia and hair loss. The effects should only be temporary, however, so I'm sure your memories will return once you're out of the construct. You may even be able to grow a luscious head of hair, if so you choose. Anyways, you did sign a waiver, so whatever happens, we're fine. Ahead you'll find doors leading directly to the Narrows and the rest of the construct. So tantalizingly close. But I can't let you through until I make sure that you're ready for what's waiting on the other side. Go grab some extra Aether vials from the experiments here, and I'll open the door. You can even choose which ones to complete, so I'll leave the details up to you. There used to be thousands of people living and working in the construct. When the incident happened, I barely managed to escape the flood of Aether, but most of my friends weren't so lucky. We logged the facility to slow the outpour of Aether, but for all of its reinforcements, the construct was never designed to contain something like this. It wasn't long after that the Aether escaping from the construct gathered into a storm, which has perpetually grown ever since. The surrounding cities were evacuated, but we knew that the storm would be the end of the world if we couldn't stop it. So, the surviving scientists bunkered into a separate underground laboratory, and long story short, that's why we had to send you back into the construct. And I must say, you've been doing a wonderful job. I could not have asked for a more apt Aethernaut.
We have devised catalysts which can be added to an aether spark in order to positively or negatively charge its energy. This energy can then be transmitted through the light emanating from the spark, leading to wondrous results. In fact, light produced by negative sparks can cancel the effects of a positive spark from a distance. Recent advances have yielded a third catalyst, this one bending time itself in a remarkable display of potential.
Whew, I'm exhausted from all of this puzzle solving. Well, metaphorically solving. I don't think I deserve more than, let's say, 30% of the credit. Looking at this wiggly line though, I think you could use a change of pace as well. I have one more question to ask you at the polling booth, and then it's off to the Narrows with you. Is everything alright? I just saw a worrying spike on the wiggly line. Try to cheer up. Don't get overwhelmed by all of this. Just focus on what's in front of you, like solving these experiments and, well, I guess destroying my life's work. You know, all I ever wanted was to prove myself and show that I'm better than a simple nameless cog in a machine. I never got the opportunity to rise through the ranks though, especially here in the construct where the competition was so fierce. And now that the world is crumbling and I'm desperately trying to clean up the mess we all made, no one really knows who I am. And it's likely that no one ever will. Researching Aether consumed my every waking thought for several years. I would stay locked down at my desk, deep within the construct, for weeks on end, trying to prove myself among my peers. So many sacrifices had to be made. I grew distant from friends and family, and I certainly didn't have time for a relationship. But despite all of my devotion to my work, I never managed to rise above the role of a simple pawn.
Wormhole generators, colloquially named portals, may yet be the pinnacle of technology. The connection established between two generators bends space itself through a positive and negative energy field. Our stationary generators establish this field through an underground connection, allowing for greater stability. Mobile generators, however, require a direct line of sight to create a link. We've theorized about portals involving the time aether cubes and are enthusiastic about doing more research on the matter.